Alright, welcome back everybody to Nick and Trav. I'm Nick.
And I'm Trav.
And we are in Mechcanicus. We are 42% to the awakening. And we killed some bosses, got some Blackstone, upgraded some boys, and we got 3 missions. Okay, we got Lock and Key, Videx, wants to go play more Skrillex, and then Kefra for our last Skitari unit unlock.
Let's go ahead and do that one.
You did this one? Alright, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Vanguard. Not enough Blackstone. Shit. No, we'll take one. Alright. Kefra, we're barely holding the line in the tomb of Ubaujo. Swarms of these damn flayed ones are surging up from the lower levels. We're seeing our own soldiers coming back to us as skins draped over those things. We must keep the tomb open. The foulness of the place is not permissible as a factor in preventing us from completing our mission. We don't have all our emotions locked away for our convenience, Magos. Mechcanicus cannot fight under these conditions. If morale keeps falling, we'll lose the tomb. I am not ignorant of the morale of less augmented personnel. This situation requires remedying. Then we need to stem the flow of flayed ones, otherwise the place will end up our tomb as well. Oh yeah!
Here we go.
Mario thing! Lower levels are swarming with flayed ones. If we seal a key passageway to those levels, we can hinder their movement to a manageable rate. Mission Doctrine suggests a cohort with demolition charges would be a valuable solution. My thoughts exactly, Magos. It's not just the danger to my men that worries me. When the enemy wears the skins of your dead comrades, death is the worst thing that can happen to you. Oh, alright. So this is what we're looking at.
Okay.
So let's go forward one.
Yeah.
No wonder some of us have been lost in this tomb already. The Necrons are using madness as a weapon. The journey down toward the lower levels of the tomb passes through a chamber where someone has scratched marks all over the walls. With a fury and ferocity that can only be the result of madness. Has one of the Skitari gone insane in the tomb of Ubaojao? Do we want to rescue, search for unfortunate that have made the markings in case they can be saved? Do we ignore them, we bypass the chamber? Or do we understand? Examine the scratched words for insight into the conditions of the tomb of Umbabuababa.
I guess we'll ignore it.
Initiative down, good. Cohort chooses to speed over thoroughness and leaves the chamber behind. The story of the lost man will remain untold. Exiting. Ending in the nauseous shadows of the tomb. Oh, good lord. Excuse me. Alright, we're done.
So you do what's over? Because obviously we got the one objective point right there, but what else we got? Let's be a little cheeky and go around all the enemy forces there. Let's hit the first objective there.
Okay. Let's do it. Alright, we're killing all enemies. So as I deploy, quick question there, Trav.
So,
How are you enjoying the world of 40K?
I mean, it's cool so far. I mean, you're aware of how into it I am right now, which is not to say a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
We've got one book, and we've got watching you play this is kind of all. Obviously we've talked about some lore and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we haven't really gotten very into it. So I'm enjoying what I've read so far. That's kind of all I could really say at this point.
Mm-hmm.
The Space Wolves seem pretty dope so far. I'm sure it gets a lot more, you know, as you look at all these different uh, factions or whatever you want to call it. But because the Space Wolves seem very basic in the grand scheme of things. I'm sure, or
Mm-hmm.
at least as far as what from what I can tell so far. Um, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the first book. It was very much like I'll admit that. So it had me in the first half or first third or whatever because it
Mm-hmm.
was like very much just like a Viking book. It was just like, yeah, we're gonna go fuck up these other people, and it's gonna be cool. And then it was happening, and it was very like I was enjoying that whole piece along with the kind of onboarding of them into you know like the intrigue of not knowing what the hell's going on, and kind of getting slowly introduced to all that stuff, and then all of a sudden it was just like, yeah, now we're downloading all this info, and now you drink some stuff, and now you're a werewolf, and then like I feel like it went from 0 to 100 real quick as far as just like giving you a lot of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then not gonna lie, the ending felt kind of anticlimactic because like I mean that's not probably not quite the right word because you got this whole troop or whatever trying to investigate some disappearances, and then you find out what are they called, the Chaos Marines or
Yeah, they're Chaos Marines.
okay. You find out one of them's down there, and then it's basically like a race to the exit, but the fight itself was just very much just kind of like you know he literally dies because what's his name, Styborn, just kind of happened, just he's basically dead on the ground, and just happens to contribute a little bit enough to help Ragnar out, and uh, I don't know, it was an okay ending, but it wasn't anything too crazy. But at the with that, knowing that there was more to come, there's obviously at least a few more books, if not a lot more books.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it was a good intro. Um, I enjoyed it. It just felt kind of like a weird ending, especially for where we started in the book.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's the majority of my knowledge that I got right now. So we're gonna start the second one as soon as I finish all those. I only got two more left of those Zelda manga that you got for me.
Yeah, that's
So
some good
yeah,
shit.
I'm really enjoying those. Those are really cool. The fact that it's not just a straight up retelling. Like I enjoyed I go back and forth in my head because at first I was like, Four Swords was okay, but then the more I think about it, I was like, Four Swords was fun. Like, not only
Mm-hmm.
did they split, but like they all had their own different personality, and just like this whole team of you, but like different emotions or different traits of you
Yeah,
interacting with each other. Like it was a fun read.
I enjoyed those because it was just something different.
Yeah,
And I mean, it is always nice to kind of broaden your horizons and those different. Well, no, yeah, true. I would say multifaceted uh, pieces of medium. Because I mean, it's not every day that manga comes out of your favorite series and it's like, oh shit, it's a different retelling, it's a different look, different take. And it's kind of interesting to see, if you get my meaning.
Not quite sure I do.
Well, it was more, well, how do I put this? So the manga itself is an interesting read as a manga. Because obviously it's, something drastically different than what we get down here in the West.
Right.
And then if we look at, like, everybody's been super hype about manga and light novels coming to the West, that the comic book industry is getting hit a little harder these days. Because for some reason, America wants to make content that kind of doesn't work for the, like, traditional audience, and we'll get into that in the next murdering session. A dead Skitari is pinned up against a wall by blades speared through his body. It seems strange for the flayed one to leave a corpse behind without skinning and dismembering it. Perhaps this discovery would reward examination, or perhaps it is a trap. Are we curious? Take the body down and examine it. Callousness, shoot down the body from a distance. If it is a trap, it will be deactivated so other Skitari do not get caught by it. Or do we do caution, leave the body alone?
Be callousness.
Alright, 3 CP.
Yeah.
Boom. Cohort riddles the corpse with gunfire. The body explodes in a burst of radiation as the booby trap is tripped. The cohort exudes its knowledge and they have not been outsmarted by the Necrons, though the gunfire and triggering of the trap have surely given away their location. Alright, so you want to circumvent these guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go down. Opportunity for steady recovery, exploitation, goal, vivisection, recover if possible. A lone flayed one is trapped in a malfunctioning doorway. Its lower limbs are crushed, but it has not been damaged enough to cause its teleportation protocols to engage. Do we scourge? No flame one can surely be safe. Destroy the Xenos with flame. Do we skin? Wary of the Necron teleporting away, try to retrieve only its gory covering of skin, or do we seize? Attempt to recover the flayed one intact.
Scourge it.
There we go. Fuck them. Disappointment detected. Disapproval protocols engaged. Okay, well, he's not. No, Scoble's not mad. She's just whatever. The flayed one is emoliated with incendiary charges and reduced to scraps of charred skin and melted metal. The process is rapid enough for the cohort to make good time advancing through this area and avoid the further attention of the flayed ones. Alright, and then we go glyph. Let's go. Alright, Necrons in battle. Alright, many female ports cover the outer shell of this Necron panel. Perhaps interfacing could improve the team's performance.
Let's do that right one. That looks fun.
-1 CP. No. Yeah. We didn't get lucky.
We're about not to get lucky.
Alright. More female points. Let's go.
Let's do that middle one then, I guess.
Middle one. 3 CP. Yeah, we got lucky. Getting laid, bros. Alright. A single port designed for a Necron canopect creature extrudes from the device.
Left.
Blackstone!
Yeah.
Alright. Going in full tilt, please. Kill all enemies. See them driven before you. Melee. Skatari.
We can get back to what you were talking about, but just I happened to come across a meme. It was just like, how true is this? We're lucky COVID happened in 2020. Like, imagine if this happened in 2003, just months in your house with a
Oof.
Nokia 3310 playing Snake.
Nah, that's terrorizing.
But imagine
I would be scared.
though.
Alright.
But yeah, so you were saying,
Okay, so like the comic industry right now, from what I understand to see, there's just been a lot of just weird, like, I don't want to say dumb ideas because like they're not dumb, you know, like the industry itself works, and it's a good thing. The only problem is I think that they're not. I want to say catering to the audience that they usually would.
so
And that's weird.
they're ignoring the nerds to try and get like either a bigger crowd or just a different crowd.
I think it's a different crowd. And like I mean, it's good. I'm not gonna lie. Like I mean, they're obviously trying new things, looking at new stories, trying to make, you know, they're trying to make some shit happen. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And like that's good. That's a good thing, especially for a company that primarily depends on readers. And it just, I don't know, man. It weirds me out that a lot of people kind of take that stuff for granted. When it's like, yeah, man, you know, Marvel was doing hype gangbusters when they were doing all their movies, right?
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, you know, that's a big hype thing. Because I mean, dude, we went all the way through like all the Thanos stuff, and everything worked, and it was weird, and then it all got into the mainstream, and like, I don't think comic books. I don't like, well, not comic books, but like comic sales. I do not believe comic sales got like stupidly good because of that. But I do think it did have some sort of effect to where people that wouldn't normally read a comic book picked one up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it got me like it was one of those things that like I mean I don't want to say like I started buying comics, but all of a sudden you got this content and you're especially during the first or second phase when they started teasing Thanos and all that stuff, and like my Facebook feed starts popping up. I'm like, oh well, this is what happened in the comics. All of a sudden, it's just kind of like, oh shit, like this happened already. Like, maybe it doesn't play out the same way, but like, holy shit, like what is this? What are we talking here? What are we getting into?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it's not like it didn't make me buy a comic, but it definitely got me more interested. So I can only imagine how some people would take that to a more extreme, starting to buy comics, and just getting invested in what's going on. Because I mean, the MCU, I mean, there's probably no way we ever see anything like this happen ever again.
Yeah.
This is nuts. And to be in on it and that every time a movie comes in out, it's just like, well, here's how this relates to the comic, or here's what we think. They're talking about how, well, obviously there's going to be some sort of secret invasion stuff happening, but it's like, oh well, this happened, so I think we're going to start doing secret invasion when Captain Marvel came out, and all that sort of stuff. So it's just like, there certainly has to be increased sales because of it, but I agree to a certain extent. Like, I doubt it was drastically altered because of it.
Yeah.
But so your point is that you think that they are catering to that group, even though that probably doesn't make up as much of their sales as maybe they think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not hard to look at, like, sales, pretty much. It's what's weird to me though is the upsurge of people that I know, some of the guys that I work with now are, really into D&D and comic books now. And like I work with some real white collar type people. And like usually those type of people would not be into these things. And it's also very interesting to me that like the mainstream, and I don't like that people call them normies. It's kind of dumb. But like, normal human beings that like, they have a pulse and they watch TV, they come home, they want to do their own thing and just chillax. They're getting more and more into like, miniatures, like Warhammer and different other like properties because I want to say it's interesting to them, but I also want to like fully understand how this has become like part of the zeitgeist. Because it's weird to me. It's very, very weird to me that like these people that obviously, like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, one of them's a hillbilly. And when I say hillbilly, I mean like he literally is, he chews shit in his, he does tobacco and lives in a trailer, talks like he's from, the real South, and he fucking loves Warhammer 40k. And I thought that was the most interesting shit in the universe. And I asked him, I was like, okay, what got you started? And he was like, well, he had a cousin that apparently in New York was working at a game shop, and one day he just picked up a set, figured out what to do with it, and then looked up the rules, and well, bam, and the rest was history. And in my head, I'm like, yo, how do we get like Americans to enjoy that type of stuff?
I mean, I guess just make movies about it and shit. I honestly don't know what to tell you. Like, it worked for comics, or I mean, at least for Marvel in particular. DC probably a little bit. I don't know, just yeah, the main media has to probably get a hold of it somehow in some way and roll with it. Because then, if it's in the mainstream, if that's the cool thing, if that's even just like the thing people pay attention to, then that's look at how all of a sudden now Pokemon cards are just like the scariest thing in the goddamn world because
Oh my god, dude.
it's
Okay,
because of fights.
so check this out, man. Like, our mutual friend Manny, has a wife, and she's a wonderful person. Her name is April, and she works for a disclosed company that handles that. So she goes to stores and stocks and stuff like that. And the amount of people that get really weird with her, trying to figure out her, like her route, so that way they can come and get the cards as they come out, is creepy as shit.
Yeah, that would make me not want to work doing that at all.
Yeah, it's not great.
Jeez. yeah, I don't. I mean, like, I get why people are into it, but I don't get why people are into it at the same time. It's
Yeah.
just, like I understand, yeah, money, but
Well, see, the thing
yeah.
is I think what it. Here, let's see here. What are we at? No, you know, we'll continue this next time on Nick and Trav, but let's finish up this mission real quick and then let's get out of here.
All right.
The archway leading to the lower reaches of the tomb of Ubaojiao. Ubjiao. Ubjiao? What do you think?
Uga chaka.
Ugachaga? Alright, cool. We're good.
Ubjiao. I guess. I don't know.
Ubjiao?
Sure.
Alright, the tomb of Ubjiao is rigged with demolition charges by the cohort. When they are detonated, the entire section of the tomb collapses, filling the flayed one's route with massive amounts of rubble and debris. The flow of flayed ones is stemmed, and the Skitari in the tomb win a rare reprieve. Skitari should have the pressure taken off of them for the time being. With the luck of Mars, they should be able to hold the tomb until it can be fully explored. Of all the forms of the Necron, the flayed ones are the foulest, the gravest moral threat to our Skitari. Emotional returns of disgust, anger, and moral repugnance are filling my neurovaults at full capacity. I am moved to pray we will soon be finished with the tomb of Umbao. I have seen what has happened to our troops in there. I have seen how it changes them. I pray for the same thing, Magos. No! Our boys! They're going cray-cray.
Yeah.
Damn. Get fuck flayed ones. We killed 12 of them. Jesus.
Let's go.
And we got our Ranger Alpha along with our big old blaster. Damn. Alright. Good for us. Up. Ew. Achievement.
Fuck yeah.
Unlocks Guitar Ranger Alpha. Oh, cool. Start a swim. Plus 10 movement for 1 round. Not gonna use that shit. Oh.
Don't act like you won't.
Carrion crew. Flosser Basters. And then we get, ooh, another Tech Priest and Alpha 2s. Ooh.
And that'll probably be next time I can try.
That'll be it. That'll be our new, oh, dude, we can get like 3 more. Alright, yeah, sweet. Alright, boys. Nick and Trav. Next week. 100 years. Season 2 of Nick and Trav.
It's season 2. Like, comment, subscribe.
Oh my god, we gotta talk about that horrible show. So yeah, we'll catch you next time on Nick and Trav, everybody. Tell somebody you love them. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, you know. Find us on LinkedIn or Indeed so we can job post, you know, the good stuff.
I mean, this is just to get you going, but there's, going to be the Vindicator show. So, you got that to look forward to now.
Oh, I'm so excited. Here we go.
Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye.